Donald Trump held a roundtable discussion with farmers in Wisconsin, and it was an absolute disaster. His mental decline was on full display the entire time. At one point, he even said, "I don't need this. I got elected. Why am I here?" Take a look.
As president, I fought for the American farmer like no one has ever fought before. Nobody's, like I'm up here today. I don't need this. I got elected. I don't have, what the hell do I have to be here for? I got elected.
He says he's done so much for farmers, but his tariff policies have caused farms to close down across the entire United States.
You insisted no new wars.
First of all, I didn't guarantee no war.
I'm not going to start a war. I'm going to stop wars. No more wars, no more disruptions. We will have prosperity and we will have peace. Under Trump, we will have no more wars, no more disruptions, and we will have prosperity and peace for all. I am the candidate of peace. I am peace. We will turn the page forever. One of those foolish, stupid days of never-ending wars. They never ended.
You know why I got that? Because you have no credibility.
But you've never presented evidence that it was rigged. Let's keep talking about, I want to talk about Todd
You
Blanche.
have more evidence. There's more evidence than ever presented.
Let's talk
Your
about...
elections
You
in
went
this
to
country,
court.
we're like a third world country.
But, sir-
Your elections are crooked, and you're crooked, and Meet the Press is crooked,
Mr.
and so
President-
is ABC, and CBS, and CNN.
But, Mr. President-
You're one-sided crooked networks. All right, let's call it quits, because I've had enough. Thank you, darling. Have a good time.
Greetings, my BPVN family. Welcome to Bold Perspectives Network. I'm Mr. Red. Now, I only showed you a few clips of the recent interview done by Katlin Collins on NBC's Meet the Press. Additionally, I showed you a cutaway of the promises that Trump made in the past, but now that he's broken. The one thing that stuck out to me, or one of the things that has stuck out to me, is Trump's erratic and unhinged behavior. What I'm saying is that he recently talked to Katlin Collins, and, he demeaned her when she didn't even really ask him a question. He constantly shits on the news. He doesn't deal with any type of truth-telling or facts. And the other thing he did was, most recently, he was a part of the ousting of Scott Pelley from CBS's 60 Minutes. And he's been there forever doing this stuff. So today I just want to show you that this pattern of unhinged behavior is something that we should be looking out for. This is things that we are looking out for, at least people who are sensible enough to call it out. Listen, we have much to discuss. Let's strap in. Let's get after it.
They did to the lives of people. They destroyed people. They sent people to jail who did nothing wrong.
All right, just to be very clear, there's no evidence of what you're saying, but let
There's
me
a lot
ask you
of
about
evidence.
Todd Blanche. Let me ask you about
Listen
Todd
to me.
Blanche.
Listen to me.
Let's talk
There's
about Todd
tremendous
Blanche.
evidence. There's nothing
It's
but
not been
evidence. The
presented
election
in a
was
court of
rigged.
law.
It was a dirty election.
Mr.
And it's
President,
happening again right now
You've
in
never
California.
presented evidence
It's happening
that the
right
2020
now in
election
California.
was rigged.
Right now, it's look at what's
Where's
happening
the
in
evidence
California.
to that?
They're dropping fast because it's a rigged election. Let me tell you, it's 4 days, and they aren't even close to coming up with it.
That's how they count
You know
the
why
votes
they're doing
in
that?
California.
Because they're cheating on the election.
Do you have evidence to support
all
that?
I have to do is look. All I have to do is
that's
look.
not
and
evidence.
I listen to people, and let's see what happens.
But, sir-
Your elections are crooked, and you're crooked, and Meet the Press is crooked,
Mr.
and so
President-
is ABC, and CBS, and CNN.
But, Mr. President-
You're one-sided crooked networks. All right, let's call it quits, because I've had enough. Thank you, darling. Have a good time.
Mr. President.
I find it interesting that as soon as Trump is challenged, soon as he, somebody brings up any type of facts, he likes to say that, there's additional evidence. And yet, when he had his turn in court, and even his lawyers, like Todd Blanche, who is currently the acting attorney general, when he was his lawyer, they could not bring any evidence to show that there was a rigged election. Yet he lives and dies on this election was rigged. Now, I've already told y'all my thoughts on that, so we're not going to beat that dead horse. But what I want you to notice, when you don't just go along with his version of what's happening, he gets angry. He's lashing out. He's erratic at times. He's getting flustered because you have to realize older men and older people like him have a truth in their head, and it is really hard to convince them otherwise. And this is me speaking as someone who has, watched family members go through dementia and Alzheimer's and how devastating it is to really talk to them. Now, I'm not making any accusations that this man has dementia or Alzheimer's, right? I'll leave that for experts, but you can't tell me that this is the actions of a man who is a leader, or at least a leader who believes in democracy, because the one thing is, he wants to change the narrative to suit himself. And this is the thing that, other authoritarians do. People who, live in dictatorships, this is what they do. There is no other story, there is no other news other than what they say. That's why the Katlin Collins situation in the White House stands out to me as well.
They raided my house, Mar-a-Lago. That never happened. Nobody ever thought of a thing like that. It turned out that it was a total fake. Everything about it was fake and corrupt. We have all the information. The good advantage to sitting here is we can get information that you wouldn't get by what we have and what we are going to be showing over the coming weeks and months. You're not even going to believe. Some of you will believe it, like CNN will believe it because they knew what was going on. They're crooked as hell. CNN's a very corrupt organization. Smiles. You never see a young, beautiful woman never smiles. I never see a smile off her face. I see her standing there with hatred in her eyes. Like she has hatred because we have borders, because we have a strong military, because we cut our taxes, because we do things that everybody wanted. The weaponization fund, as far as I'm concerned, was a beautiful thing. It was something I didn't make it, but I heard that. I thought that was the greatest thing because people like you have abused our people so badly. The fake news like CNN, like the New York Times and like others have abused our people. Wait a minute, be quiet. Have abused our people so badly, and you should be ashamed of yourself. You used to be a conservative. She was a conservative from Alabama, can you believe it? But CNN, in particular, CNN, that's false reporting. But now they have new ownership, so maybe it'll straighten it out. I doubt it, but it's hard to straighten garbage out.
Now, as you can see from the limited clips that I was able to pull, that, Katlin Collins didn't really even say much to him. I believe that it was another member of the press that said something, and then Trump brings her name up. So again, when people, challenge him, he has a tendency to remember them and go after his political enemies. This is something that Kamala Harris said multiple times on the campaign trail, that Trump was looking to go after his political enemies. And we've already seen the backlash of that. That is why we don't have, a Stephen Colbert on TV anymore, because he would make jokes. Trump didn't like those jokes, and so he lashed out. And so this is a bigger problem that we have, because if you look at the core tenets of what it looks like before a country goes into authoritarian rule, what you will see is one of those things is to silence the press. And the founders of this country wanted there to be a free and fair press that was also supposed to be the fourth lever of government for as far as checks and balances. He has the Supreme Court. He has the Senate. He has the presidency, and he's been doing a great job trying to suppress the voices of those who have media companies, or, the media companies that speak out against him. They're even putting pressure on social media influencers. These are all things that we really got to be careful about, especially because as this man's fuse gets, smaller and smaller, this becomes more of a danger to us all.
And he had the nerve to tell a bunch of farmers who are struggling as a result of his policies that the Democrats made up the word affordability, going on to say, I'm good at making up words too. There was also this very strange moment when an Olympic gold medalist put his gold medal on Trump, and then Trump says, I'm keeping it, I like gold, I forgot to touch his leg. His leg is like a rock. He even said he endorsed a guy named Tom Tiffany because of his last name, because he bought the rights from Tiffany and made a lot of money from it. And he even said this to farmers: "You know, if we can, fellas, I gotta get back to a place called Washington and protect you. So if you could go very quickly. We don't need your life story, other than I like the Olympic guy and I like this guy right over here." We're watching as Trump gets worse every single day. It's been time to invoke the 25th Amendment for months now.
I can't help but to think about Scott Pelley and the 60 Minutes, debacle that has gone on, because Trump has been lashing out against everyone who will remotely stand up to him or challenges his authority. This is what he's always admired by people like Putin or Kim Jong-un, and he's always wanted that. And now in this administration, he has made sure that most of the dissent is getting silenced. The last clip of the night, what Scott Pelley said. You say what you will, but this man has been a beacon of news and reporting. And because of Trump and, his, pal over there in CBS, Barry Weiss, who's running CBS, Scott Pelley now is on his ass. And I think his words are very chilling and very telling.
President Trump reacted to your being fired.
Did he?
He went on a podcast and called you a stiff.
I'm surprised that the President of the United States would bother to notice, but okay. Please tell me. I'm not aware of this.
He also said you were part of this gang of stupid, crooked people that don't care about your country.
Stupid, I can take that. Stiff, yeah, probably. Don't care about the country. I've never worn the uniform, but I've been in combat for this country in Afghanistan and Iraq, Kuwait, been shot at, spent nights in foxholes filling up with water in the desert. I'm not aware that the President of the United States has ever done any of those things for his country. Please correct me if I'm wrong. You become a journalist because you love the First Amendment. You become a journalist because you love the country. And while all the other descriptions that the President used about me might be applicable, not that one. There is no democracy without journalism. It can't be done.
Stay vigilant, stay engaged, stay revolutionary.